Welcome back, everybody. CCG Maine now up to bat for the ACL upper bracket, and I am joined by a guy I know. His name's not
Whoa.
Box Kimchi. His name's Bonfire. Bonfire, thanks for stepping in, my man. You ready for some action?
I think after watching that last game of CCG Futures, it's hard not to be ready for action. And we're joining a little late here, but CCG already off to a great start, the 4 seed, taking one off of Peach Cats, grabbing themselves the 1-0 advantage in this best of 3. So hoping to surprise some people in the ACL here today.
Yeah, looking to surprise, certainly. This is, honestly, we did the CCG Futures matchup, obviously, a bit ago. And that one was hype because, you're going against Steamfish Taco. I would wager this one is more hype. Mainly because I love this Peach Cats roster. You've got, just so much NACL talent. You've got Moose Ader, Keel, I'm a big fan in the jungle, Onat off of, where am I blanking? Is it Team Fish Taco? Team Fish Taco's mid laner there. Wixie in the bottom lane. Isles, a great support right now. It's just so much talent. Then on the CCG side, I mean, Dragoon and Messages. I just love these guys in the solo lane. Soon to be NACL talent. We're getting the draft, though. I can't really glaze these guys anymore. We've got CCG on the blue side. They did take the first game. So Peach Cats, interestingly, Bonfire, they wanted the red side. The question is for what as this draft formulates?
Yeah, it feels like red side is all more important, and it has been. We've started to see it kind of come back into the relevancy with Worlds, and so it'll be interesting to see, if this makes the big difference as well. I've been told that my mic didn't pick up the correct one, so I'm gonna come back.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'll hold it down. I'll hold it down, I guess. Yep. All right, so you guys just get the Slayer scenario while it froze on him smiling. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever, dude. This is actually creepy. I don't like this. He's just smiling at everybody. Oh, all right. Well, the draft continues. Apologies for missing some of the picks. It was honestly my fault. I was away from the setup. It wasn't necessarily set up. I like Fnatic on the J4. Last game he had. Oh, he's back.
I don't know if I am. I don't know if it fixed it.
It did not. I think you have to do. I think you have to do. I think you have to do like advanced VMix. I think you have to do advanced VMix when you try and join at the top.
Okay. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I'll be back again.
It's just. Oh dang! He's not smiling at the camera anymore. All right, you guys missed game number 1. It was a big win for CCG. They had 18 kills. Fnatic on the J4 had 15 KP. So Fnatic's J4 was amazing in that game. They get the Rumble for Dragoon. The Rumble J4 lineup is awesome. Rakan is an amazing support. I'm loving this draft from CCG right now. Peach Cats, they've gone for a lot more skirmishy. They've got the Viego, the Ari that can be a nuisance to dash around and deal with. So you've got those going for you. And of course, you've got the Xayah as well, which is a powerful AD carry in the current meta here. Not many AD carry bands even coming through. You see the Aphelios taking. Oh, okay. How about now? Now I just can't hear you. There's no mic picking up. There's zero mic coverage. I'm just gonna keep rolling until he says something. We do have the Jinx coming through. Just keep trying to talk, man. I'll tell you when I hear you. You'll know. How about now? Nope. None of that. Lunar is hovering the Jinx. Isles gets the Thresh, which is intriguing. Usually see the Jinx Thresh get combo together, and Peach Cats have decided to take that one away. So, meanwhile, you're gonna make me laugh. Thresh is taken away, and you have the Jinx as the response. Cassante, wait, hold on. Cassante just made it to B5. That's crazy. So they're hovering that. Ooh, are they going to send... This is intriguing. Okay. Messages does play Cassante mid. This could be a Cassante mid angle. This could be a Rumble mid angle. Either the ones are up there and an option currently. And Zach is locked in on the other side. What the hell's... Okay, man, I really wish I had a co-caster for this segment. We've got Zach mid. No, Zach top and an Ari mid. And then we've got a Cassante or Rumble either matching top or mid. Hello? Yes, hello? You're waving at me. No, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. I don't know what you've done to your audio settings. Miwa is trying to help him. Our lovely producer. To be honest with you, we have the draft. Bonfire, just give me a facial reaction to the Zach top. We have a Zach top. Oh, he disconnected again. Okay. All right. So Zach top is crazy. And that will be piloted by... it's Moose Hater. So, I mean, the guy took over NACL Spring with Garen. And everyone was like, oh, you can't pick Garen top. And then he picks Garen top, runs over half the league with it. So maybe he's been cooking, man. I don't know. Maybe he's cooking Zach top. I'm not 100% sure where the Cassante and Rumble are going. And I wonder if they're just going to try and switch around for matchups. Obviously, you pick the Zach to try and match somebody. I would assume you get onto the Rumble. Because you just get on top of Rumble kind of dissuade him. Cassante wants to play close quarters, you know, likes those kind of tank slap fights. I think he's a favor of that, so you've got Cassante as that option there. Jinx Rakan and Zaya Thresh I feel like both teams would rather just swap their supports, and they would like them a lot better here. Overall, though, both teams kind of want to fight. There's not a lot of onus on like skirmishing. There's not a ton of pick potential for either one of these squads. You've got like Thresh can get some pick potential. Zach can find it with, you know, those giant leaps or what's it called? You know what he tossed himself. I'm forgetting the ability name. From unique areas. Rakan, but the other side, CCG, they're looking to fight here. That's the point. You've got J4, Rumble, and Rakan. They all can stack up. Jinx is a team fighting AD carry, hyperscaling team fighting AD carry, and Cassante is also there, just as a team fighting threat. So CCG future, especially, or CCG, excuse me, main, we think about the last time it played early. I'm now realizing I'm super sad that Goon played Darius. His body to Darius game last game, and he's a Darius king. But they had Rumble. Oh, okay, they had Rumble mid. So this is probably Rumble mid with a Rumble again. They had a Sivir instead of a Jinx, and then Rakan for Just. So it's a similar comp. But we're going to see how that similar comp plays out. Apologies again for the technical difficulties, folks. We're going to go to break. We'll be live from game number 2. CCG looking to close out their upper bracket matchup, and hopefully we'll have Bonfire sounding like he's not trying to talk through a microwave. Stay with us. Back on Summoner's Rift here for a 5th time tonight, and hopefully for the first time with the new and improved Bonfire.
I think I'm back. I believe I'm back.
Oh my god, I think you're back. I think you're alive. Yes, I hear you. Hello.
Goodness. Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to League of Legends.
Good to talk to you.
League of Legends.
I know.
Wow.
We'll do a little showmaker for this.
Reference.
I know. This is incredible.
Thank
you everyone for sticking with me here.
Reaction to Zach top. Go.
Whoa! That is a Zach top. That's my reaction. Whoa! That's crazy. I feel like, man, I didn't even. I was kind of keeping half an eye on this, but we were pulling hell and earth back and forth to try to get this fixed. But yeah, these are some weird picks. Rumble mid. Man, this guy is some craziness. I gotta say, yeah, I don't love the Zach, especially into so many interrupts. But I mean, we'll see if they're able to get on the Jinx. Obviously, we're gonna sing its praise.
Yeah, it's the answer to Dragoon's Cassante. That's what we're going with. Dragoon. Unfortunately, by the way, Bonfire, we did not get to watch Dragoon play Darius last game. I just clocked that was what he played. But now he's on to the Cassante here. And this is the second game in a row for Messages playing the Rumble mid alongside Fanatics J4, and I know how much you love that combo.
I think that, you know, the spicy miso bowl, as it was oh so affectionately named to me, is a very, very strong combo. But the person actually that I'm keeping my eyes most on is Lunar. I think Fnatic had a great game. You know, we were looking at that post-game, we were talking about, yeah, Fnatic looked fantastic, but Lunar was just absolutely pushing out so much damage on the Aphelios. So I would keep an eye on Lunar. Has an opportunity on this Jinx to do something simple.
And Moose Killer, no one has their in-game name for Beach Cats, they don't care. But that's Moose Killer on the, or Moose Hater, sorry, he's throwing me off. Moose Hater on the Zac. True, that could go down. He is on the Zac top, running Grasp, likely just going full tank like a Zac you expect to do so. We've got Onat on this Ahri as the answer to Rumble. A lot of wacky lanes that we don't really know how they play out, to be honest with you. We don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I think that the one thing I do know is that Dragoon is having a tough time against Duo King. But I was going to say, one thing that I do personally know is that I am never a huge fan of the Viego pick. I think that it has its strength as a carried, jungler, but I would just rather have somebody else. And we'll see if it has its effect. I think one of the better things that Viego is able to do is get other lanes ahead early. But I would expect to see the Viego bot, potentially mid as well, to really get that full utilization as Dragoon. It's a big chunk with Duo Queen. Wow.
Moose Hater's cooking. He's got first blood on Dragoon's Cassante with Zac top. Oh boy. Well, that I just don't know. I don't know how to react to it. I do not know how. I just don't. Words are hard. So when you're watching that happen.
Yeah.
I am.
I get it. I totally get it. I think that you might have, looked at Dragoon and pictured a moose right there, because that had a lot of vitriol in it. That was an angry solo kill. And Moose Hater, if you had any questions on if he was back, hold on.
Good flash there. Coming across from Onat.
Yeah.
The Flag and Dragon would have killed him.
If you have any questions about if Moose Hater's back after his brief stint away, I think that'll answer it. Moose Hater is still the NACL stomper he once was.
Yeah, looking to get a chance again once more. There is a good set of chompers from Lunar. Forces the flash out of Isles, who's also looking to get back to the NACL as well. Dragoon's just looking to get back in control of this lane because Moose Hater got that first blood, got the Kindle Gem. That's really all you need on Zac is the health, and you can just slap around, especially when you have the passive up.
Yeah, no, this is a tough place for this Cassante to be. Good flash, hold on, they might have Isles.
There's no flash for Isles, and he's dead. Beautiful play there from Just, flashing with the knock-up, setting up Fnatic, and you get the kill on the guy you want most, Lunar, on the Jinx.
Yep, knocking the Aussie down under. Beautiful, beautiful play onto that Thresh right there, and keeping this this bot lane in check, because if either of these bot lanes get ahead, it could be pretty drastic for the late game. And Aphelios and a Jinx both in a lot of trouble if they're able to get there. And hold on a second, Ghost Pop for Lunar.
Ghost Pop there for Wixie. Stays safe though. You get the Ghost off the Aphelios. That certainly feels nice. Dragoon has ult here, goes all out. You also have Keel here. Pass is still available for Moose Hater, so he's not going to die anytime soon. And Dragoon is dead again. 2 kills for Moose Hater up against Dragoon's Cassante. What are we watching right now?
Yeah, this is the Zac that I think we were promised in Arcane, my friend. This is a very angry blob right now. Not thrilled with being thrown into the top side, and Moose Hater is piloting it to a pretty exceptional degree. Hold on.
What a flank. The equalizer forces out the flash coming across from Wixie, and they kill Isles for a second time. So you've gotten kills on both sides of the map now for these two squads.
Yeah, but it's not even. It's not even because it ends up being a 1-for-1 in the bot side. Uh-oh, that's a greedy back right there, my friend.
Oh, Messages gets punished for being on a ward, and now you give a kill over to Wixie's Aphelios. And this is a wacky, wacky game number 2, but Peach Cats very much in control, and Onat might be looking for more here. Does get spotted out, has the Spirit Rush, could charm it first. There's the first charge, forced out by Just. But Onat's sticking around. They have Isles roaming down. He has 2 more charges if he wants it. There's the second one. It looks like he's just zoning there. Not going to press the issue too much more.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the fact that even with all of the craziness, it still does feel like this Peach Cat squad is kind of thriving in it. It doesn't feel like they are, kind of getting caught up in the hullabaloo. They know what they're doing. And even though Isles has died a couple of times, you've got, 1-0 Jinx. As a whole, across the board, doing very good for themselves as Dragoon has just not had a fun time in the top side. And, getting that kill on the bot side as Dragoon takes a couple of tower shots there. It's been important for this Peach Cat squad, and I feel like they are in a fairly good position. The big issue is, they've got great engage with the Zac, they've got great engage with the Ahri and the Thresh. The issue isn't going to be finding the pick. I feel like the issue is going to be completing it. Because if the Viego and the Aphelios are left behind with, hopping into the backline, they might not be able to follow. And so if they can keep the damage, keep everyone locked up, and kill the Jinx or the Rumble before the fight really starts, that is going to be the way that they're going to win this game, and they're off to a good start.
Yeah, exactly. While having, 2 kills on a Zac that's likely going full tank, his Messages is going to get stunned up into the charm, the combo, the Heartbreaker. Goodbye. Messages, hello, kill. Viego's got a kill under his belt now.
Yeah, this is going from bad to worse right now pretty quickly, Slayer. It did feel like CCG were, staying in it. They had a couple of kills to their name, only down a couple thousand gold, but at this point it does feel like they're kind of losing in the tempo battle. They haven't really made a play themselves. They were setting up right there in the mid lane. You saw they had roamed over the Rakan, but they're, just kind of have to back away with their head between their tail, and because of that, their ADC is going to fall behind in the CS department. They're able to get a tower or a tower plate. It is just rough pickings here for CCG, and after such a strong first game, it's definitely not what you want to see.
Yeah, certainly not. Sizable gold lead here mounting now for Peach Cats, and they've got it mostly in the right spots here. They're looking to set up potentially for a gank on Onat. I mean, Messages Rumble is certainly doing the damage, but if we learn anything about trying to gank an Ahri, post-level 6, it feels impossible. Ooh. But that hook wasn't impossible. The Moonlight Visual does whiff, and Lunar's dead. It doesn't matter. Turret shot tank there for Wixie. Picks up that one. Top side, we're getting a Rift Herald scuffle, excuse me. There's the equalizer into the Cataclysm. It's burning, but it's burning Moose Hater, who is very, very tanky. Wixie getting burned low. All out for Dragoon. Picks up that one. Now he's turning his sights towards Onat. Zones him up. Moose Hater, he's tanky. He doesn't have the damage, but he's got the sustain. Flashes away from Dragoon as well. Rift Herald will be picked up by Fnatic, gets the flag and drag. Charm lands, good flashback to get the second proc of the Q. Really well played from Onat. Topside Dragoon has knocked the passive on Moose Hater, but he can't burn him quick enough. He's going to come back up with a boatload of health, and now he wants to fight. Gets the elastic slingshot, the knockups are all landing, the CC, the sustain, it's all too much for Dragoon. One more slice back from the photo strikes, doesn't matter. Moose Hater, Zac Top is on a killing spree.
Yeah, this Zac top, you might be surprised by it. You might even be confused by it. But do not be surprised when it solo kills you, because this Zac is doing work, my friend. This Zac has been the big difference maker in this game so far. 4-0 on the Zac. Good luck killing this member. And yeah, it is looking rough right now for Dragoon. You talked about his Cassante. It's a very strong champion in his pool, but it is no match for the top Zac.
Yeah, I mean, Dragoon's not going to kill him anytime soon. You see what that first item buy is for Moose Hater, folks? That is Anathema's Chains. And I got to think he's immediately binded to Dragoon. So this Cassante will never really have a great shot at killing off Moose Hater. And it's wacky, but boy, has it come to answer. Moose Hater now has so much health. Is he building a Divine Sunderer?
I wish I knew, Slayer. I wish I had the answers. It's Moose Hater, so you never really know. I mean, this is the guy that brought Garen back into the meta for NACL, so you never really know. I gotta say, the Anathema Chain's just a very, very interesting purchase, because that almost says that you're gonna side lane as the Zac. You know, Anathema Chain's very strong when you're going against single targets, or if there's one carry on a team potentially. But if they're buying it specifically for the laning phase, I think you're right. You know, it probably is against this Cassante. And so I don't know. I mean, it could be a mispurchase, you know, later in the game when the Jinx is one-shotting you. It could end up being really, really strong in the side lane because you consistently are throwing the Cassante into him, and Cassante does 0 damage.
It could just be for fights as well that Moosehater is saying, listen, the guy I'm going to be having to deal with most of the time in fights is Dragoon. So if I nerf his damage, I don't have to worry about much more. Also, I liked it if he was going full tank. I don't know how I feel about it if this guy's about to shove a Divine Summoner as his mythic. We'll have to see. I mean, it could be a Triforce as well, but that would be even weirder. So, I don't know.
Take a good trade right now. Dragon coming up. I mean, at this point, Dragoon probably won't die. Ooh, this is good right here from Dragoon.
Fnatic's here as well, so he'll be able to do damage. There is the bounce coming across from Moosehater, still burning him down. The Cataclysm shuts down Moosehater. He finally falls. They have the bot lane roaming up too as well. So you'll get that kill, but look what else. Peach Cats can now get onto the bot side of the map.
Yeah, but I love this right here because the Aphelios sure is going to get something when you load this many members up and you have the Rift Herald. This Aphelios isn't going to beat you to the punch, and so this bot turret isn't going to be the first to fall. They should be able to get just as much, if not more, on the top side. It forces the Ahri to roam up. However, with that roam, I was wrong. The Aphelios just goes unchecked, no teleport on the Cassante, and yeah, I think you were right. Actually, I think it was a beautiful kind of response there from Beach Cats. And they actually do get the better end of the stick right there.
Cross-mapping. Very high-level play from players that have... Wait, let me... Yeah, everybody, all players have been at the Tier 2 scene and played. And they're showing it right now. And that is a big gold injection onto that Aphelios. They've got Keel caught in the jungle. He Heartbreaker's out of the way here. This just hits the dab. Can't get the kill. He is an 0-3 Rumble, by the way, so both these solo laners, which are arguably the strong suit for CCG Main's roster, struggling in the second game.
Just flying in, looking like Superman right there. Also, I don't know if everyone else is having that visual bug. Is Dragoon powering up?
That's Anathema's
I mean,
Chains.
this looks crazy.
That's Anathema's Chains.
That's Anathema Chains. Okay, so that, I see it built so little that I didn't even know that was what Anathema's Chains looks like. From a spectator perspective, that's good to know.
Just letting you know who he's binded to. No, it is not. It is a matchup-dependent item, but in the matchup, I mean, you're seeing it do work. I mean, Dragoon is tickling the sack. And look how much healing he gets, man. It's just, I mean, it's just funny to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on a second. Uh-oh. Good flash.
Good flash from messages. That's all. That'll be all.
I will say, you know, look, Moosehater's doing great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like these are fairly even trades right now. I mean, Dragoon's getting the worst end of the stick now because of the combos and whatnot, but as a whole, I don't feel like this Cassante cares that much. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but like Moosehater's able to shove a wave in, sure, but Dragoon's never really in any trouble of dying. Isn't gonna kill him, but I don't know. And now Moosehater.
He's under turret. The all-out backwards from Dragoon really well placed. The Grass Brock's doing so much, and Moosehater now has to flash away. The side lane pressure is up there, but Moosehater, it's getting to a boiling point. This evade might boil over on the messages. Keel jumping him, trying to burn him down. The flame split over messages. The Heartbreaker, the Equalizer. Can they get Keel before he gets the reset? The Cataclysm says yes. Messages finally on the board.
Yeah, messages is on the board, and that's very, very important because his mid laner is struggling right now. But again, we want to talk about the crossplay. This is Ahri this entire time just taking the top side. No concern at all. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckville, you know? Do not even worry about it. And then also on a tempo switch in the mid lane. So great work again from Peach Cats.
You saw Fnatic jump on to Onat once again, but it's an Ahri with Everfrost. Like, good luck. You can't catch her as a single target ever. With Spirit Rush, with Flash up, with Everfrost up. You can see here that Onat didn't even have to burn ult because he just knew how much safer he was in a 1v1 up against Fnatic. And the gold lead has ballooned up to 5,000, and you were talking about it's because every tier 1 turret has been knocked down by Peach Cats, with one of them coming during turret plates.
Yeah, and that I think is my biggest concern, is that we just have not seen this Aphelios damage yet. and at 1.5 items with boots, it's gonna be a lot. Messages might get called out. There's no tower here. Bye bye my
Deja
friend.
vu. Yep, no flash this time and no turret to get back to. Good riddance. Another good pick here. And that's how you have to play with an Ahri.
It's been a tough game so far. It feels like this Moose hater Zach was carrying the early game, but even though they've been put to the side lanes and just forced to deal with Cassante, it has not mattered at all. The rest of the team doing what they need to do to make sure that they feel comfortable with this gold lead, and they're doing great. Have the 2 towers. Like you said, they have 3 turrets as well. It's bounties right now across the board for the CCG squad, and this is a far cry from game 1 where they won in 33 minutes. This one might end in 33 minutes the other way.
Look at this Rift Arrow. They're going to drop it onto that tier 2 turret, getting that shove in. Bit of a death brush coming across here for CCG as they're realizing how badly they're losing on these side lanes. And you can see the pressure building up. Moose trying to create something somewhere else. Rift Arrow going to crash into that inhibitor turret as well. Chunk that thing way below, and all of that's going on. A Drake spawn, so you got to go for something in mid lane. They do lock down the Aphelios in the Cataclysm. Charmed up. They finally kill off Wixie, but how much will it cost? Dragoon solo has to flash the Heartbreaker. Flashes galore. Fnatic can't get the flag pullback and just falls. So only a trade at the end of the day, with CCG bleeding desperately in the side lanes.
Yeah, they burned everything right there to try to kill the Aphelios. I mean, they threw everything at him. They did finally end up getting it, but like you said, they were in a terrible position underneath tower right there. And they end up losing another one on the trade of it all, and it's just looking tough right now. They didn't kill the Ahri, just limped away with barely any HP. Now they're going to try to make something happen on the top side, but there's a dragon up, so they're split. They're again losing out on the split. Should be a little bit of a gold influx. The only positive aspect of this, and oh no,
that's disgusting damage. What is that, man? I know Messages isn't the tankiest play. He's playing Rumble. Like, it's not tanky, but... Iceborne Gauntlet Zach top, trying your solo queue.
Yeah, you can come into a solo queue game near you. I mean, this is a brutal one. And it just doesn't really get any easier, does it, Slayer? You've got this Aphelios, who again is scaling, up to 2 items at this point. This Ahri also very, very strong. And then, well, the entire time you're trying to kill those 2, as you saw in that last fight, there's just too many other things to have to worry about. If this Aphelios gets 1 reset, he can be a problem. If this Zac, is able to get onto your back line, how the hell are you going to deal with that? CCG, looking at the odds right now, and if you're a gambler, you're not feeling pretty good about it.
Certainly not. This is one of the closest margin matchups we probably have in the upper bracket. Besides, maybe if you consider the main broadcast of the ACL, Lotus Exiles versus Cloud Gaming is pretty close. This is your, I believe, if I need to double check correctly, I want to make sure I'm correct on this. This is your number 1 seeded Piltover team versus, well, actually, never mind. I guess CCG did come out 4th in the Demacian League, but that was one of the toughest divisions in all of the ACL. So in my mind, at least, Bonfire, this one was expected to go 3. And the way we're going. Oh, my God. Huge engage. I didn't even see that one coming. The Equalizer just doesn't have the damage behind it. Isles can stand in it the entire time, and oh boy, Onat trying to pick off Just. Does dash the wrong way. Does have to flash over the wall, and he's out of dashes. A gift, a lifeline given over to Lunar.
Yeah, they engage in a small corridor, and yeah, that's what the Equalizer is going to do for you. It's going to equalize this game. Dragoon, 1v2 on the Cassante. Just wants to buy time for the rest of the team right now, and he's doing just that. Getting good damage. Zach should just be able to hop away, but now you have to start to wonder, set up some vision control near the Baron pit. Do you want to do the Baron dance? Looks like they're going to decide not to do so, but that's how they get back into this game, Slayer. That is how they make this a 2-0. They need to fight in those small corridors because that Equalizer, a very, very strong tool. Yes, this is a 1-in-5 Rumble, but if you sit through that entire thing, you're going to look at your health bar and say, dude, where's my car? So, really, really good fight right there.
And if they do have 1 damage orient to play through, you've got Lunar now 3-1. He's got 2 items. Hit that 2-item power spike to play through. Has the IE with him. I mean, Wixie's going to match him in damage, but Jinx can hyperscale just about as well as an Aphelios compared to the rest. The problem is, you've got a Drake in 2 minutes to play for. Peach Cat's looking to lock down a Mountain Soul at 24 minutes is scary. Baron is up. Peach Cat's, I mean, the game is just shove waves and set up first these neutral objectives, and what can you do if you're CCG down 6k gold?
Yeah, it is a tough position to be in, for sure. I think also, you know, with the amount of control wards and vision you've had to set up, I know it's not the biggest thing, but just doesn't have an item yet. And so this Rakan doesn't have anathemas, and so they are absurdly behind, you know, compared to anybody else on the map. And so, you know, one of your strongest engage tools is feeling pretty weak right now, which, sure, it's not the damage aspect of things, but it does feel pretty tough when, you know, you want to hop in as Rakan and, you know, get everybody charmed up and dash away before you die, and you just get one-popped by the, you know, Ahri or by the Aphelios. So it's going to be even tougher for Just, at least right now.
And now you can see Peach Cat's just shoving in these side waves. They know that the solo lane difference is what's really catapulted them to this point. It doesn't really matter if it's Moose Hater or Onad matching Dragoon or messages. Either way, they have the advantage, and they're just constantly shoving these waves and pressuring these other 3 members of CCG. And if you bring messages over, what happens? Bye-bye tier 2 turret or bye-bye top inhibitor.
Yeah, they need to get something from this, because right now they're using this to shove mid lane, but they're losing a lot of tempo bot. And for a dragon push, you have no clue where this Zac is now. The 6-in-1 Zac, it can just hop out of vision, and at any point in time makes the dragon takes that much harder. So eventually they do roll messages down. I mean, they brought him mid, they didn't find a fight, and they lose half of their bot tower. So a little bit questionable right there. The Zac able to just dip out of vision, you know, raise question marks. Did he back? Did he, you know, go into our jungle? And then pops back on vision to clear bot wave again. Messages again has to group with the team with the equalizer, which just unlocks Moose Hater. I mean, it's just a terrible tug of war.
And Onad now is just getting free shots onto the top inhibitor right now. Yeah, with teleport, so he can join whenever he wants. This inhibitor is good as dead. Bot lane tier 2 as good as dead. CCG completely pitched, and what's worse, Dragoon gets hooked into the damage of this Aphelios. Teleport's coming through here. They're going to pick up the Baron, but it's going to cost them a bunch. Moose Hater jumping to the backline, flashes to lock down Lunar. They can't get to him just yet. Just does jump forward to try to get the Aphelios. Cataclysm on Onad, but that's not the target you want. Burn down. Infernum kill comes across for Wixie. A double up as the Jinx finally falls. It is a rout in the name of the Peach Cats as they're looking to push this thing to 3.
Yeah, that fight just wasn't very close, and that's what I was talking about right there, Slayer. Didn't have a lot of their own vision set up in their jungle, and so Moose Hater just gets the engage of a lifetime. They lose top inhibitor, and you know, you get the dragon, which I guess is a minor thing to grab, and they might actually just go for the end right now. I mean, Moose Hater is so tanky. They have a top wave. Justin messages just looking at this thinking, what are we supposed to do right here?
Leading bot side 2. Bot side inhibitor turret and inhibitor will likely fall here. Peach Cats are going to play it slow, play it smart. You don't need to commit all out to end here at 25 minutes. Baron is up. Super is pouring in top. Waves pushed everywhere. CCG, this has got to be the last-ditch effort, trying to just stop the Baron, but they don't even have all their ultimates back online yet.
Every time they've wanted to fight with the Equalizer, Rakan combo, you know, the spicy miso bowl with the Jarvan as well, they have been slapped in the face in the side lane. And, you know, NA fans are all too familiar with the feeling of we're all grouped up, time to battle, and we're just losing out across the board to a Korean team. And right now, in that analogy, Peach Cats playing like an Eastern team. So they are working the map pretty beautifully as they set up vision around Baron Pit. They have waves shoving in. The only hope right now is keep an eye on this Jarvan. You know, could potentially get something set up. I think Io should spot him out, though.
Actually hasn't. Fnatic might have a prairie shot if he wants it. The problem is he has no idea the HP of the Baron. Baron gets a scrying warp. Sees it's down to about 5k. They don't spot him on the other side of the pit. Now they will. He has a blast cone, and this is so smart from Peach Cat. Just come right off the Baron. They don't need a 50-50. There's zero reason to take that chance. So at least Fnatic gets a reset on the Baron.
Yeah, that's fantastic right there. Fnatic, you masterfully played around Vision and really punishes them for not having a warding correctly, or not even correctly. At what point do you think that the Jarvan is sitting right there? He's still doing it. Does get the knock up. They finally recognize, hey, that's where the Jarvan's been. They do lose out on the bot lane. They might have a pick right here. Does have the dash.
They're rush out for Monad. Has 2 more charges. They're going out of Fnatic. The knockups into the Moonlight Vigil. It's just too overpowering. Wixie lines it up perfectly. Jungle down. Baron down. To be honest with you guys, game down for Peach Cats.
Yeah, as annoying as this Jarvan was to deal with, I think it was more of a, hey, there's a mosquito on my arm, and then I slap it annoying, rather than anything actually substantial. And it's unfortunate, right, because it was beautifully played. You know, both of us big fans of that from Fnatic. We'll call it the Fnatic brush. Works out perfectly. Already has that name. But it just didn't matter. You know, they're still losing way, way, way too hard. And they're going to lose that Baron. Now there's Baron buffs. Messages is dead. This one's over.
Yeah, Isles just having fun going for those flash hooks. Another double kill to pad Wixie's stats, but this is why Peach Cats were your Piltover Division champions. Unrelenting games like this with a splash of creativity. Zach Top bringing it home for Moose Hater and bringing Peach Cats to a game number 3. We're going the distance in both of our CCG series today to see if one of the home teams can make it to the upper bracket.
Yeah, surely a CCG team has to win a series tonight, you know? Surely one would hope, as we haven't seen it yet, but you know, in game 1, you know, we did see that they are able to tussle with the big dogs, or I guess the big cats in this, you know, analogy. So it's not like it's over, but you know, that game, it just felt like they were dizzy the entire game. They just did not have a grasp on when to fight and who to fight, and they just got out macroed. And I think if you're CCG, you go back to the drawing board and you think, how do we deal with that? Because you don't game plan for that, you don't scrim for that. You're thrown onto the big stage with it, and you just did not respond accordingly.
It is rare in this meta, at this level, with a team this much talent, that they'll get punched in the mouth to picking Cassante B5. But that's exactly what happened. All the credit to Peach Cats. They just caught CCG. They caught him out in multiple lanes, and I had to tip my hat to them a little bit more because they played a style that I've seen so many teams fail. They really just didn't ever need to 5v5 until they had amounted such a big lead that it wouldn't have mattered how bad of a team fighting comp they had.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, I think both of us talk extensively about, you know, this level of competition. And often you see side laning, and also, I guess, all levels of competition. Side laning could be incorrect. You know, if people can do it wrong, and they could leave their team on an island because of it. It's not the case at all with Peach Cats. They played it perfectly, and they just pushed and pulled and pressed all the right buttons and forced CCG into uncomfortable positions. And so, beautifully played. I think the 5,000 gold lead also helped a little bit with that, and they get themselves the win.
A win nonetheless for Peach Cats, the #1 team in the Piltover Division. CCG got here as a wild card slot, and they're going to have to get something wild going for their Game 3 draft here. They'll have side selection once more, for the first time, actually, all series long. What can they cook up? We'll figure out after another short break. Hope you enjoyed your very extensive break, everybody, because these two teams are not playing on. My God, we fly through draft. We're the first, and we've got CCG. Whoa. I did the thing. I'm doubling up. My bad. We're so many games deep, all right? I get some passes. Okay. All right.
It's a little scuffed across the board. If we're breaking down draft, starting off early, CCG have a poke composition with a pushing bot lane, but man, is this a rough late game comp. I mean, this is brutal. And they don't get the Jace either, so don't let this game go late, I suppose.
You know what? They win. I see an Ezreal locked in. Psh, game over. CCG win. That's it. What else more is there to say? Oh, well. It seems like I've selected the wrong side here.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, well, you're right. Oh, they were the wrong sides. Oh, never mind. CCG. Great composition. Great composition, CCG. Now ban the Jace. And we're okay.
Well, they haven't banned. Well, they banned Poppy. So they banned Poppy. Moose Hater is a great Poppy player. I mean, Vi, you got Zaya in Rakan bottom lane. Oriana's not up. I would love a Nico here for the Vi. You need somebody to follow Vi up alongside Rakan with AP damage. So I think like a Nico or an Ahri would be a great pick here. They're hovering the Ornn for Dragoon, which, man. All right. Ornn duty for Dragoon.
I think an Ahri would be fantastic. Ahri Vi, one of the strongest mid jungles. Yeah, I don't hate this at all. So I would pick up the Ahri personally, you know, if this was me. I'm very concerned that Peach Cats is just going to grab themselves the Jace, and it's going to be a very strong poke composition. But if they don't, you know, all the better. So we'll have to see. They don't really have a lot of AP, so that could be a huge issue for them if they do pick the Jace.
Could be. Sorry. They would leave them hung out to dry. Yeah, I think you can't go Jace here. I think you have to go some sort of mid laner. Is Ziggs available if you want to double down on that sort of aspect? You go with the Ziggs. And you're leaving the counter up 4 messages. No Rumble duty game number 3. And they're going to steal away the Ahri. I mean, the way Onat played it game number 2, why not? And also, I think that's just such a great steal away from what CCG want to do, but there we go. Hey, I know things, guys. Come on, slam.
Go Nico. Please go Nico. This is a great Nico game. No. Don't go Azir. Please don't go Azir. Azir into poke comp is just brutal. Yeah. Please.
2K.
Yeah.
2K been reacted drop. Yeah. We're just making noises.
Sorry. Bad. No Nico. No. Yes Nico.
Okay. All right. I'm still not the biggest fan of Ornn. But they needed a tank.
I actually don't hate the Ornn. I actually think that if you're gonna go Ornn, this is not a bad angle for it, because Dragoon, as great of a player as he is, just got dumpstered last game. There's no way around it. And so, whenever I touch a game, I just go on tank duty, and I decide, hey guys, don't worry about me. I'll do what I need to do to be a part of the game. So for Dragoon, a little bit of a confidence booster. Grab yourself a tank. Great team fighting with a Nico and a Zaya. I love it. I think that's fantastic.
All right, we'll see how it plays out into these compositions here. You've got Keel on the Maokai. I think that was his best in all of Game 1. You've got Moose Hater on the try and dumpster here. It feels like that's what they're gonna play through. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I think that this is a good opportunity for CCG to get a good bounce back. No crazy picks across the board. They're keeping it simple, keeping it easy. You do have to be concerned about the split push. We were both talking about the split push last game that Peach Cats did so well. Same thing this game. You're going against a Camille. You've got an Ahri. You have to be concerned about getting bled out across the map. But able to ignore that and actually just team fight. I think CCG have a much better team fighting composition. So expect them whenever there is a 5v5 or a 4v4 to just be slamming it. And also, keep an eye on the jungle mid duo, because Nico and Vi very strong in 2v2s.
Well, there's a lot of skirmishy power on both comps, to be honest with you. Camille and Ahri love to skirmish. Nico, Vi love to skirmish. I think Maokai, honestly, the top side of the map, for both of these compositions. Just love skirmishing in a lot of ways. Maybe outside the Ornn a bit, but that's I went 5 or 6. I'll take my prize for that one nonetheless. It's going to be very skirmishy. And the question is, how does that translate later into the game here going forward?
Yeah, I think that the most important thing is looking at the jungling, because you look at, the Vi mid duo, that's fantastic for CCG. I think whenever you look at a League of Legends game, you have to be concerned about the pushing and the roaming and all that. And I'm slightly concerned because CCG loses out in practically every single lane. Ezreal and Karma, a very, very annoying bot lane to go into. Just very, very strong pushing power. This Ahri should be able to shove the Nico pretty consistently. And then obviously Camille into Ornn. It's not even a contest. So I'm slightly concerned that Keel is going to be able to kind of get free roam around the map. And we saw how they're able to move their chess pieces around when they have those pushing lanes. And so I think that's my biggest concern, right? With its team fighting, if it's late game, CCG should wipe. If it's, being able to get pushing lanes and stabilize, and side laning, Peach Cats have a pretty good composition for that.
Certainly do have a composition revolving around that. I do wonder how Ezreal Karma looks together. I guess they're very pokeable in lane. I'm curious to see what sort of rune choices Isles is assigned to run alongside this Karma. Obviously, kind of just made to be a poke menace in the early game and then become a shield bot later in the game as well. But frontline-wise, there's a lot of pressure on Keel just to soak up a lot of this damage if the front-to-back kind of comes through for CCG.
Yeah, if Duo Queen, aka Moose Hater, or Jess isn't able to get into the back line and isn't able to CC or force Lunar's ultimate or cleanse or whatnot, front to back, CCGs are just so unbelievably strong. And so I think you put it perfectly, right? Keel can't take it up. He's only a tree, my friend, and trees get chopped down every single day. And so if I am Peach Cats, I'm a little worried because if it gets to be front to back, I do think CCG really do favor that. So they want to disrupt. They want to make things uncomfortable. They want to be dashing around, getting CC across, forcing Lunar into uncomfortable positions. That's how they win these team fights. But yeah, I do feel like they're the best when they're taking 4v5s and 3v4s and uneven fights in there. Because they're forcing people into side lanes. That is where they're going to win.
CCG main are best when they are playing aggressive early and playing through Fnatic. They have the tools to do so this time with Fnatic on the Vi. Messages on the Nico. They need to get aggressive early and honestly look the opposite they did game number 2, getting punched in the mouth out the gate here. It's the second best of 3 that has gone the distance tonight. We have been on the gauntlet this stream long. We need to all put all of the energy we've got into the CCG main squad to make the upper bracket, to get a win tonight. And to do that, we'll use all of our energy during the break. So make sure to conservate all of it, because when we come back, we live from Game 3, Summoner's Rift. See if CCG can pull off an upset in the ACL. Six whole games have gone down tonight on stream. Five have gone down on stream. 6 have been played for CCG rosters, but nobody has made the upper bracket. CCG main looking to do so. We've gone through draft, and now we're here. One team to go through.
How's your voice doing, my friend? Nobody ever asked the casters how they're doing with the long series.
It's doing well. I thought it was going to start going out when I had to scream every team fight of that last game for CCG Futures, but I'm just my vocal cords are made of what's the vibranium, whatever Captain America's shield is made of.
Yeah, that is vibranium. That's correct. Yeah, all right, good to know. I obviously only have come in for these last 2, but I already feel mentally drained. This series feels like it's taken a lot out of me, and I've only been here for 2. So shout out Slayer and Miwa, the real goats here, doing everything that they can to make sure that we have a very good production. We appreciate them and everything that they do. We also appreciate these CCG teams Because a lot of teams didn't make playoffs, but these CCG teams are showing that they deserve and belong to be here. Deserve to be here.
Certainly. Both teams have now pushed #1 seeds in the ACL playoffs to a third game. Looked good in their wins as well. It doesn't matter how well you look in your wins in the series if you don't close out the series. The last game was anything but good for CCG. Peach Cats looked dominant, and it all started with this top lane matchup. Mooshader in a much different situation, as well as Dragoon with these two new champions.
Yeah, Dragoon, I think probably has an easier run of it. You know, as this Ornn, you don't really have to battle as much as you do as Cassante. You know, you get your combo down, get your grass proc, feeling pretty happy. And obviously with that brittle proc, at least early on, does force this Camille to play pretty safe. So I do think Dragoon's a little happier. In the bot side, though, it is anything but happy. As you're starting to see, this is what the Karma Ezreal looks like, by the way.
Yep, comment on Isles for that extra poke. Ezreal obviously just going to lay down a lot of it. I'm now realizing that Wixie has the new Ezreal skin. I haven't signed into the low client in a hot minute. Your boy will be speed running to that client to lock in my 19th Ezreal skin on my account.
That's disgusting, and I hate that that is something that you do. But also, you know, that's kind of cool. I'm split on it. I'm split on it whether or not I like that or not. No, big Ezreal fan here.
That's my boy. It's my golden boy, or I guess minty-haired boy from now on.
Look, I'm trying to tell you to hop into TFT. He is joining TFT. So for all my TFT fans out there, you know, you're an Ezreal guy as well. There you go. As messages. Hold on a second. Message is taking a lot of damage here. Does have to use the clone just to be able to walk away, and we might have a spat.
Everybody's scuffling. Everybody's scuffling all over the place. Top lane, Mooshader's pushing him off the wave. You were right. Fnatic is getting bodied in the 1v1 up against Keel, who has now pushed him off that scuttle. The scuttle was picked up, though, by Fnatic. So he grabs that bot scuttle. He's going to lose a lot of his camps on the bot side, though, especially with the pressure that bottom lane got. He'll be able to at least double scuttle.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And this is what I was talking about. The issue of no pushing lanes is if Keel ever gets any help from these from the bot lane, there's just nothing that you can do. And so has to respect that potential. And indeed is just going to try to cross map a little bit, but it's just going to be set very far behind as just as, I mean, this is heroic right here from the support. This is an honor just moment. Keeps the blue buff for his jungler. Beautiful to see.
Yep. Make sure that doesn't get stolen away. Big one to grab for Fnatic. But you've at least, if you are Keel, done a good job stunting Vi early pathing-wise. If you're a Vi jungler, you'd like to by this point. You know, you're not usually going for full clear, but he's had to delegate so much time to the fighting, you know, repathing to grab double scuttle. He hasn't really gotten to line up a gank yet. And that's what you want to do early on Vine. Keel's done a good job keeping him away from it.
Yeah, hasn't been able to get a gank yet, and hasn't really been able to back yet either. Which I think on the Vi, you want to get that first component, get a little bit healthier. Meanwhile, Keel has been able to back and get some components, get a little bit stronger, a little healthier, which means that if there is a fight, at least before this Vi backs, I think you would probably favor Peach Cats.
Does invade and I believe steal away some of those chickens. So he gets what should be a farm lead unless stolen back by Keel. Topside ultimate's available. Double knockup combo coming across. Good call of the Forge God there from Dragoon to cancel out the Hextech ultimatum. But can he chase down this Camille? That Q2 does so much damage in the healing enough. You get the flash out of Mooshader, though, in that exchange.
Yeah, you get the flash, you get the ultimate out of Mooshader. That is a big win right there. You're very happy about that. You know, saving your own flash is the Ornn. And Mooshader looking a little worse for wear right now. This is, whenever I tell people, you know, Ornn's very strong top laner in the early game, they always laugh. They say, you know, it's a tank. How strong could they really be? But those brittle procs will really sneak up on you in those 1v1s. And right now, Mooshader just on the wrong side of it.
Getting the shove in now, going to steal away a turret plate as well. That's got to feel nice. Fnatic is setting up here for a potential dive if they want. No flash or ultimate on this Camille. Vault Breaker not going to land. Good Oh my god, what a juke there coming out from Moosehater. He's going to get a trade somehow, but first blood over to Fnatic.
Yeah, but I love this right now. The instant response is, well, we've got bot pushed in, and we just saw the jungler in the top side. Let's, turn this into a dragon. So another early dragon for Peach Cats, and that's great vision. That's great positioning right there from the Maokai. And it's ensuring that even with that being a trade, and kind of an uneven trade with the first blood, they're still doing pretty good for themselves in the gold department and in the game state.
Dragon picked up, like you mentioned, this bottom lane is still pretty unrelenting. CS lead now for Wixie, up above 20, more than a kill's worth. And Lunar, man, it's just tough pickings down here. No way to even get close to the waves to try and farm. Ton of damage coming out of Isles and Wixie.
Yeah, but they might have this Maokai here. No ultimate on the buy, though.
Well, there's the knockup for Just. Ignite dropped. They do have the first roam from Messages as well. Ultimate available if he wants to look for it. Pop Blossom and Flash if he goes for it. Pop Blossom comes up short. Drew Shot Barrage going to nail him. The Ignite try to get the root back out of Fnatic. Charm lands from Onad, and they're just going to burn Fnatic. Well played by Isles to Flash to commit that. And oh, they might have Lunar too. Oh my goodness. The Flash Q. Oh, he guesses the wrong way. Oh.
Barely surviving with the skin in his teeth, but it's not ideal. Again, they lose another member, and so it's not a positive trade. They're actually down about 1,000 now because of it. Hold on a second, Dragoon.
Oh, the Hextech Ultimatum jukes up the knockup, but I don't think Dragoon needs a hook shot away from Moosehater. Flash is available for Dragoon, not for Moosehater. And here comes Fnatic. One Vault Breaker could do it if he goes over the wall. A lot of healing for Moosehater. He's going to try and stick the back here, fakes it out. Dragoon just farming the wave. Moosehater is going to dodge out on Fnatic. Is he going to just walk out of this? What?
That is disgusting pathing right there, Slayer. Because if you're Moosehater, or excuse me, if you are Fnatic, you're thinking, all right, backing in the brush, I wait for my Vault Breaker, I, land it, I throw a ward down, bada bing, bada boom, that is a dead Camille. And you have the vision on that brush. As soon as the Vault Breaker comes back up and uses it over the wall, that Camille just scurries their way over vision, back through the Tri-Brush. I mean, that is beautifully played to survive right there. But as you can see, Moosehater, this has been anything but a comfortable lane. Now, it'll get a lot easier as this game goes on, but as of now, it is not feeling good.
Well, it's got to feel nice for CCG, who are bleeding resources towards the bot side. Still a 20-plus CS difference here for Wixie. Been able to really press that advantage. That's got to feel good on Ezreal because, I'm gonna put my hat on. You saw this coming, Bonfire. He's gonna want to spike in the mid game. That's when Ezreal's best. You get the 2 items, the more mana. At some point, Sai is gonna likely, is gonna out damage you, and has the range advantage too in a lot of ways, unless you're in your skill shots. So, an early lead on Ezreal against Azaya is always gonna feel good.
Yeah, that is a very smart thing to say. It's also something that you say every single time we watch an Ezreal. But it is always true, so I'm not going to make fun of you. Because, it is 100% true. This Ezreal, I'm making a little bit of fun of you. If Ezreal is very strong in the mid game, and with the poke, being able to play alongside the Maokai sapling, slowing him up, you've got this Karma just constantly poking and prodding alongside him. This is a great game to be in Ezreal. That being said, like you said, if this game goes any longer than 25 to 30 minutes, I think that you're probably wishing you had any other AD carry. So they do need to keep pushing this advantage, which they are doing perfectly right now.
Yeah, they've gotten 3 turret plays. Their pressure is allowing constant invades here from Keel. Does get the Vault Breaker come out. You do have first rover messages once more. Good Tangle Thorn, and that's a great pick. This time it works out. Messages is roam, cashes in well for CCG.
Yeah, it just felt like right there the Maokai just couldn't be there. You want to be there to help out your team. You want to be there to potentially get something in the bot side, maybe a dive, but you just don't have enough vision on where the enemy jungler is, and Messages has done a great job on this Nico so far. I will say it is getting brutal in the bot side. That is 4 plates and a 40 CS difference. And so even with all of the advantages that CCG has given themselves across the map, this gold lead is pretty much solely in the bot side. And I don't even really think it's Lunar and Just's fault. I feel like this is just the way that the Ezreal Karma bot lane goes. But I'm having a tough time of it.
Yeah, they certainly are. And at least Fnatic has been able to get back that kill. But it's putting so much pressure on Fnatic as well. He's not been able to help out Dragoon as much as he'd like, but does Dragoon need it? Hook shot, good dodge on Call of the Forge God going up from Moose Hater, who continues to be a lane dominant bully here. And that'll stop the trade once more.
Yeah, the Wave's in a terrible position. Because right now, Dragoon just wants to push this and back, you'd imagine. Or at least get into a comfortable position. Can't do that. Eventually, the Wave does push, but I think missed a couple of minions there. And that is a massive wave. And so this Camille, only up a little bit right now, it looks like, but it is a lot more. Messages could be in some danger. Doesn't know that the Maokai's there. Is able to keep himself safe. And so there's nothing to be found in the mid game and mid lane. And I gotta say, for the mid game, at least right now, it's been fairly even. Neither team really feel like they are that far ahead. This is maybe one of the more even games we've seen this tonight.
Yeah, no more game threes where a team has an 8K gold lead at 13 minutes. I'm with it. They're going to look for a pick here in mid, though. There comes out the Spirit Rush. The Pot Blossom whiffs from messages. And that's why you can't go after an already post level 6. So hard to lock down. Nature's Grass does come out. Forces the flash on the messages. Do they have enough to burn him too close to the turret to find that pick? Dragoon over here first as well. Flash from Isles. So a ton of summoners burned. A lot of rotations right as this Drake spawns.
Yeah, they are in a good position. And like you said, that is a lot of summoners and a lot of ultimates used for that little scuttle. And CCG limping a little funny right now. Not feeling too good about their position. They don't have that Nico ultimate. They don't have Nico flash as well, critically, to get all of that damage off. And so they call it off. They decide against it. They will live to fight another day. We're talking about this
good
team.
charm on the
messages. No.
Does he have the gap closed? Isles can get those speed ups from the Mantra Empowered Ease. They're going to lock him down, and Messages just as good as dead. Onak gets the kill. Peach Cats' lead expands.
Yeah, and this feels a lot like Game 2, unfortunately. You know, it's not as much of a stomp as Game 2 was, but we're starting to see why Peach Cats is such a strong team. They just kind of choke you out of the game, and it's one wrong move, and suddenly you are in a very uncomfortable position. We're starting to see that now right here, Slayer. Every single time CCG makes a move, they want to do something, they want to set somebody up. They just are not really able to do so. Misses the knockup with that Ezreal E. They get the charge off, but it does not knock down the turret. And even though Fnatic's here, I don't think they're going to find anything. Now the question is, does Fnatic get picked? Hold on a second.
Ooh, great quickness into the knockup from Dragoon, but they can't burn Isles. Lunar can't get close enough. No damage coming across. Fnatic gonna dodge out on the charm. They're turning on to Dragoon to try and burn down that frontliner. Good zone from Moose Hater. Fnatic jumping forward, trying to save Dragoon with the Hextech ultimatum. You've got Moose Hater running wild in the back line. It's a rout. Peach Cats wipe up the first real fight of the game. 4 kills in their pocket.
Yeah, it's a horror. As soon as they get that initial engage on the Isles and they don't get it, it was all doomed from there, Slayer. I hate to say it, but as soon as the reinforcements arrive from Peach Cats, there's just not really those impactful ultimates up. This Nico doesn't have flash, and so just was sitting in the backside that entire time, not able to land the combo. As we go to a quick replay, it started off well. You know, Isles might be caught out a little bit. They're able to get a lot of damage off. They get the E off of the Ezreal, and so if they can force them into an uncomfortable position for the next, 8 or so seconds, things could look good. But as you can see, this entire engage onto Isles, look at who's hitting. Lunar's not able to get, I think, gets 1 auto off. Yeah, 2 autos off. The Vi's not able to get any of the damage off, and as soon as the reinforcements arrive, it is just a wipe. Dragoon is tanking for nobody. Lunar's not hitting anybody. It's impossible to do anything. Lunar gets killed, and everybody else gets mopped up, and like you said, it is just a wipe. It's a slaughter. It's a horror for CCG, who had high hopes of knocking down the 1 seed after a Game 1 win. Those hopes might just be dreams.
And now they're jumping on Dragoon. Nature's Grasp, Twisted Advance, make sure that Heal follows Dragoon wherever he goes, and that's another kill on to this Wixie Ezreal. 3-0 now. Huge bounty. Should be able to complete the Manamune near Moramana already. And the big AD damage threats from Peach Cats, man, are they accelerated. Oh, hold on, though. Good arcane shift.
That's an Ezreal moment.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what Ezreal does. Ezreal is very difficult to lock down. I'm sure that's why you love him, or at least one of the reasons. And so it looked good at the start, but stop me if you've heard this one before. You try to find a pick on the mid, and then you look into the side lanes, and you realize that it was not the right decision, or if it was the right decision, it was a losing decision the whole way, because Moose Hater is taking your bot side, and your Ahri is taking your top lane.
This is exactly kind of memo the Peach Cats served game number 2. They say, hey, listen, you can draft for these big picks. You can draft a Nico Vi to play together, an Ornn, Xayah, Rakan for these team fightings. I know we understand you want to skirmish. We're not going to let you. We're going to continuously shove these side lanes with the lanes that we know we have advantages in. And CCG, they have no way to play the style they want to, and if they can't get those fights, what can they even do?
Yeah, now they are getting bled out across the map, and I think if you look at that last team fight, I think it gets to be a little scary because, hold on a second, uh-oh, Dragoon.
Yeah, I mean, Moose Hater is 3-1 by this point. 2 items, the Ravenous Hydra. You do get Just showing up. Fnatic's coming as well. Charm is really well timed from Just. That's the shutdown they needed. Just to the rescue. Teleports galore. You've got Onat trying to flank from the top side. Might have a pick onto him now as well. Has the Spirit Rush, though, and a Blast Cone. Hex Portal's coming across from the bottom lane and Keel. Can we have another turn? We go Seesaw and Nature's Grasp. No one gonna hit Dragoon. Only route to come across. Isles looking to flash over. The Spirit Rush, they've picked off Dragoon. That's a big pop blossom. But can they burn down this Ezreal? They just cannot get to Wixie. Fnatic, the only one. A double onto Wixie's Ezreal as he stays safe. And his staying safe is integral. A charm from Onat gets on the messages. Keel picks up that one. Even when you think you've caught Peach Cats, they come out on top.
Yeah, that entire fight, I mentioned it in the middle of it. There's no Lunar. And we talked earlier about how this Xayah was going to absolutely shred through basically anybody in the team fight. If it's front to back, it's CCG favored. But when you're missing that critical piece, it's just like a jigsaw. You're missing that last piece, my friend, and you're going to slam the table in frustration because of it. And right now, I would hate to be any of their desks because they are not happy. They drafted a composition to fight, and they're losing the fights. Down 6,000 gold now. This one feels all but done as they have to watch as their top lane falls, as the dragon falls, and as their potential hopes of knocking down the 1 seed falls as well.
It is looking just as rough as game number 2. Credit to Peach Cats. Playing this split sort of style once more has worked wonders for them. They're up 7k gold, and they're marching down mid lane. Once again, have Wixie in such an incredible spot to just dole out so much damage. And they're going to knock down this mid turret, set up for this Baron, I assume, that spawns soon. And my god, Wixie! That's disgusting!
Yeah, that is illegal. And this Ezreal, you had any concerns, they are justified. This is a very, very strong Ezreal. Has the Triforce, has the Man Immune, and it's upgraded. And it is just rough, I think, as you can't even walk into your own jungle now if you're a Fnatic. Getting poked out, can't set up a vision line, consistently just getting poked. Your Nico's in the bot side, Dragoon is just taking chunks. This is the strength that we talked about of this composition. Oh my goodness.
This is just Ezreal on 4 fronts. He's hitting every combo. He gets cooldown reduction after cooldown reduction. Arcane shifts forward. Goodbye, Dragoon. Fnatic, a fleeting attempt on the Isles of all people, and he can't even pick that one up. It is Wixie's world, and we're just living in it right now.
Yeah, this is the Ezreal that you get in solo queue. This is wow. Yeah. This is, well, you know, I wouldn't go that far. This is a very strong Ezreal, we'll say. I just don't know how you're able to deal with him because just like last game, you know, we had that conversation of like, there's a very, very strong member. Oh, no.
The Hextech canceled the dash.
The zoning ultimate.
Safe, but zoning ultimate, yeah. At least I can sit here and say Wixie's just like me for real right now.
We'll have that discussion. Look, what we will say is that it's a strong Ezreal. We'll use those words. No, I'm only messing
Strong?
with you. It's it's look. You're close to this. You know, you put a couple more Ezreal games in, I think you could definitely achieve this.
Yeah, I'm talking about his Ezreal. I mean, that's in this game. It is more than strong. It is Titanic.
Yeah, but hey, you know what they say about the Titanic is that it failed. So, you know, maybe.
Well, if they're going to do something, they're going to have to pick off Onat or Wixie. But Dragoon can't do it alone.
Yeah. I don't even know what analysis I'm supposed to use here. They're just getting bled out of everything. And that's the thing, right? If you were able to get some control, set up a death brush, go for picks, maybe set up an uneven fight, that's one thing. When you're not able to walk into your own jungle, bye-bye, bye.
Oh.
When you're not able to walk in your own jungle, yeah.
And Nature's Grasp gonna grab Dragoon. Another victim, another double. Wixie is stat padding, going for a perfect game right now. Baron minions are all pouring into the base. You got no inhibitor turrets, mid or bot. This one is uglier than the last game.
Much uglier. And I actually think it could end soon, too. Zaya is going to get the back off.
Oh. All right. Charmed immediately. The quickness from Wixie. They've caught Moosehater going really crazy forward, but he doesn't pull Nexus turret aggro. Big feather pullback. They've got Onat. There's a good kill. Fault Breaker on top of Keel, but Fnatic can't do it all alone, and pop goes the Weasel. Big time Hextech ultimatum forward from Moosehater. A true shot barrage just to put the dagger in the hearts of the CCG faithful. What a game from Wixie. What a game from the Peach Cats. They're going to claw back from down 0-1 to move on in the upper bracket and send all of CCG down to elimination games.
Yeah, CCG, they came up and they were ready to fight in game one, but it was an uneven fight, it was an unfair fight, and they get slapped in the mouth and sent down to the lower bracket. It was a tough one. You know, they showed that they have something to give to these playoffs, that this is a team that you maybe should be concerned about, but I think what we've learned from this team for Peach Cats is that they do not go down easy. They do not go down without a fight, and they battle back, and I think Wixie needs to be the top of the list for AD carries to look out for in the NA, because that was a incredible performance.
Incredible performance across the board for Peach Cats, a team that is tier 2 level NA worthy. I mean, everybody is on this team. So, Peach Cats, they move on begrudgingly. You also had, why am I blanking on T-Fish Tacos? I mean, yeah, like all the NACL roster worthies have moved on here. For CCG, it's back to the drawing board. I believe elimination matches. It will be corrected later, but play on Monday. Lower bracket is on Monday in the ACL, so quick turnaround.
Yeah, look, both of these teams have to bounce back. You know, you're gonna take your punches. And at the end of the day, it's just about bouncing back and responding. And I think both of these CCG squads are going to have to figure out what went wrong and figure out how to deal with it. But it's definitely a tough position to be in. You know, I think both of these teams put a lot into their season, and to go out this early into the lower bracket means that they're going to have to really find some fight within them to have a potential to lift that coveted crown. So we'll have to see if they have that dog in them later in the series.
Trying to get some updates across the board here from some of these other matchups. I believe it looks like Ole Miss took down Gentle Hearts 2-1. And if I am correct, what's the other one? I believe Clown Gaming also fell in their matchup up against Lotus Exiles. I think that wraps them all up. The big one, Mirage Alliance, the defending champions, lose 0-2 to keep pathing bot in their winners bracket. I'm pretty certain that the CCG team is now going to have to go to the lower bracket and play the defending champs.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough position to be in. So we'll have to see. I'm excited for this lower bracket, but man, if you're CCG, you're just thinking, what did I do wrong to get this fate? So they'll have to dig deep and figure out, what went wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah, two Zonian division opponents in CCG Futures know well. Clown Gaming and Gentle Hearts also knocked down in the lower bracket. CCG may potentially not match up against either of them, too. There's a lot to figure out here, but looking forward to CCG League of Legends. Funnily enough, their next matchup is against each other. The next matchup for both these teams is Sunday. The grand finals of the Risen Champions League Risen Champs League will be going on Sunday. Myself and Bonfire will actually be the ones on the cast there. So, I mean, I don't care which team you like more. You're about to figure out which team you like more and which one to cheer for. Tune in on Sunday, Risen Esports socials to check that one out. It will be a fun time with myself and Bonfire. But my man, LJ Vogel 12, got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm sorry that everything went wrong as soon as I joined, but I'm glad we were able to roll with it. And I look, at the end of the day, I think people would rather hear a stupid mic from two stupid casters, I guess one stupid caster, rather than not get a stream of their favorite team at all. So appreciate you guys rolling with the punches in chat and in production. And it's always a joy to be here at CCG. Shout out Krim, shout out everybody who works behind the scenes. And best of luck to CCG in the ACL. I'll be watching either as a caster for y'all, or I'll be watching as a fan. But CCG faithful all the way through. I will always be CCG fan. So
heartwarming as always from Mr. Bonfire. Big shout out to Miwa behind the scenes. You will not know how much Miwa did for this stream, but I can promise you it is an insane amount of stuff. I'm sure Miwa will be a part of whatever ACL broadcasts come back for CCG. But for now, guys, that's the end of the, 5-hour-long stream from CCG. It's been a pleasure going to the gauntlet with all of you at home. Make sure, as always, to say locks and socials. I hope every one of you is in the chat on Sunday. Make sure to come back the day after for more CCG action. And I can guarantee you somebody is raising a trophy for CCG. Enjoy your weekend until Sunday to figure out which one of these rosters does so. Take care.